Yo, what's going on, guys? And we're hearing that the NBA trade market has been slowed down. I mean, we reported this actually a few weeks ago. I believe it was Jake Fisher who reported this 2-3 weeks ago that there were more buyers than there are sellers. Now, Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting this. It's just funny to see how, if you're like me, you follow the news from all sources, and you can see how it goes from someone smaller to someone bigger, and the bigger person acts like they're the first one to report it. It's always been funny. And I'm not saying Jake's perfect. I mean, I've met Jake, and Jake's a really nice guy, and I've read his book. But so what we're hearing is that the lack of interest in 2024 draft picks is the main reason for why there are more buyers than sellers, and that they're slowing down the market. So what we're hearing is, as the NBA trade deadline does loom at 3 p.m. Eastern time, that's noon on the West Coast. And with that being said, I think the big thing right here, when you look at teams that are, in contention, like the Cavaliers, or like just outside the contention window, like the Cavaliers, like the Knicks, they might want to be making a move. But supposedly there's been multiple factors on why teams have not been, doing as many trades. Like, we might not see double-digit trades this year. One of the issues that teams are finding, that due to the fact that this upcoming draft class is considered a very, very, very weak draft class, like 2013 weak, all right? That's part of the issue that teams are finding, that there isn't a lot of interest in the draft picks for this year's draft. The 2024 draft is projected to be weaker than most recent drafts, and that the picks that have been discussed are future picks for like 2025 and above. The spill over to teams being increasingly wary of trading picks. With the new NBA second apron rules, many contenders are holding onto their draft picks, as they'll need to find out, if they will be over the cap. Like, basically, you're paying, like, if you're like $1 million off the cap, that's basically an extra like $50 million in your luxury tax payment, or like over the luxury tax. So there are a bunch of things that you have to understand. And the thing people don't realize, that in addition, 11 teams control 75% of all future draft picks in the entire NBA. Isn't that crazy? 11 teams control 75% of the draft picks. That much draft capital being controlled by roughly a third of the league has created somewhat of a trade logjam. There are also far more buyers and sellers on this year's trade market. Several teams that are still in contention for the postseason, whether that's for just playoff spots, which is a spot in the playoff tournament. And a lot of those guys, there's people that see themselves as a team that could make it into the playoffs, are also asking for high prices, as many of their players are on long deals, like we're seeing with the Wizards, and we're seeing with other teams of that sort, like the Hornets. So it's definitely interesting to see how teams are not trying to have buyer remorse. So I want to hear your thoughts.